And so my point in all of this is that the middle class is being eliminated. And yes, there's going to be a certain group in the middle class that move up to, you know, the high profit, low volume, wealthy people. And then you're going to have a good chunk of the middle class that are going to need much cheaper services. The question is that have you transitioned? Are you just a one-trick pony and you have your one service and it's $250 of your cash pay or $225 or $300 and that's all you have? So now you're just going to ignore that those people that could afford that before, now they're not going to be able to afford it, but you're not going to try to create a new solution for them? Guys, see, I think that's someone that's saying, I'm not willing to go on the transitional bridge. And it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and I think you're playing with fire.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. I'm going to share with you guys something that I put in my Facebook group, the Success Community. By the way, if you're not in a Success Community, join successcommunity.com. I think it's something like that. But anyways, it's my Facebook group that I have nearly 3,000 members in there. It's what I call my advocacy group, right? It's where you don't have to pay anything to be a part of the group. I go in there usually 2 to 3 times a week. I'll do a live in the morning, usually after my workout, and just share with you all things that I feel are super valuable and beneficial to you, and usually things that I'm thinking of and considering like in real time. And so that's where I do my real-time coaching, my thoughts. I'm not obviously able to do a lot of communication because it's on Facebook, but people used to get a lot of value out of it. So go to successcommunity.com and you can be a part of that. With that said, last week I was in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And, that's my time to kind of just rest, to reflect. I was also, with my wife, and we were enjoying our time together. It was our 24th, wedding anniversary. And so for the first part of the week, I kind of just laid low, wasn't really on social. I knew my team and, like they all got it. My clients, for the most part, aren't too dramatic. Nobody really bothered me. But then, after a couple of days, I feel good. I feel rested and rejuvenated. And it was Friday, and Friday I went on and I was thinking about something that I actually heard a pastor talk about recently, and that was transition. And it really hit me, that I'm currently in a transition as well. And so I think I put that as the title of the Facebook Live, and quite a few people came on. And I think people thought I was like quitting consulting, or I was gonna, end Smart Success Healthcare. But no, I just said I'm in a transition. Okay, I'm in a transition. And I think pretty much every single one of you should ask yourself, after listening to this episode, are you in a transition as well? My hope is that you are in a transition. And so I'm going to explain what a transition is. And then let's kind of talk about some of the things that I talked about on the episode, or in the Facebook group, I should say. So a transition is when you're actually on the bridge. Okay, it's when you're on the bridge from where you used to be to where you want to be. Okay, and so a transition is a very scary place to be, because you're going away from the known, but you know that the known is falling apart, right? It's kind of like Indiana Jones, right? You remember? Well, some of y'all are just too young for that, but there used to be this movie called Indiana Jones, right? And there's this amazing scene in Indiana Jones where Indiana Jones, who's like the really big hero guy, whatnot, he's actually the guide, and he's bringing the people that he needs to save. He's bringing them across this bridge, and he's able to get them across the bridge before the bridge totally collapses and falls down. Okay. And so whenever I think of transition, I think of being on this bridge, and the bridge is scary because you're kind of in the middle. You feel like of nowhere. On the other side is where you want to be and where things are going. You know that if you turn back, you're going to go back to where you were. So that's not good, but you're not where you want to be yet. So you're in that period of transition. And I feel like that's where I am right now. I feel like I've been in a transition for many of the 20 years of being an entrepreneur, but not all the years. Sometimes I'm just kind of where I am, and I'm scared of what is on the other side, because I know that where I am is good. It's not great, but I know it's good. And I'm scared to get on the bridge, because you get on the bridge, it's like, oh my gosh, what could happen, right? Everything could fall apart. Well, that's what I shared with people in my group. I said, I'm in a transition. I'm in a transition right now because I know that where things used to be or where things were and where I was, I don't want to be there anymore. Like, I want to be in a place to where I'm helping more people than what I'm helping right now. I also want to be in a place where look, man, my kids are getting older. I have a 22-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, 11-year-old. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time with my wife. But at the same time, I also want to help more people because I feel like I have a very unique story that attracts a lot of different people. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like my story just really attracts a lot of people and people you wouldn't even think. Like, the majority of my customers are like white women. Like, what? I'm a black dude. How the hell does that work? Well, I just feel like my story resonates with a lot of people. I feel like I know I'm not perfect, but I feel like I've inspired a lot of people, and I feel like the things that I want attracts a lot of different people. I think black people are attracted to work with me. I think white people are. I think white dudes are. I think white ladies are. I think Hispanic dudes are. Look, I've seen it all. Actually, just the other day, I was when I was in Georgia, some dude thought I was a Filipino based on how I talk. I'm like, I got a lot of Filipino like coworkers, but I just feel like I attract a lot of people, and I feel like I have a calling to be able to bring people together, especially with what I went through in my childhood. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I feel like I'm in a transition. And being in a transition can be scary. But I also know, being an entrepreneur for 20 years, I know that if I don't transition, it's going to get ugly. And I've seen it get ugly for a few companies that I've had affiliations with. And so I told my students a story of, one company that knew that they had to go through a transition and they did it. And I told them another story of a company that probably knew they had to go through a transition, but they didn't do it. So I'll tell you the stories real quick. So let's talk about the company that did do it. You guys remember those disposable, like, cameras that we used to have, right? And it had the film, and we would like take pictures and go to like Busch Gardens or go to like your favorite theme park or the zoo, and you'd have your disposable cameras. Maybe you bring them to like Eckerd's, or I don't know what stores you had. Maybe you had CVS or Walgreens or whatever. Anyways, bring it to a drugstore, and then they would process and develop the film, right? And then you would get your awesome pictures, right? It's long gone, right? Okay. Well, let me tell you something. That company, the disposable camera companies, they saw that the way that we used to capture moments was going away. And you want to know what that company did? That company said, okay, well, what do we have available to us? Well, we have the film. We have the plastic disposable cameras. Well, let's take that film and let's turn that film into lenses. Do you know that the disposable camera company actually turned the film that we have in disposable cameras into a new lens company and created glasses from it called Oakley? You guys, they decided before it was too late for everything to blow up on the other side, they decided to get on the bridge. And when they got on the bridge, they were able to leave what no longer served them, take what they could take from that phase of their existence and bring it to the other side. And today as I was driving here to work, I was wearing my Oakleys. That's a company that embraced being in a transition. There's another company that many of you know, and that's Blockbuster Video. And that company did not go through a transition when they knew they should have. Do you know that Blockbuster Video had the technology to be able to take all of their video content through VHS and DVD and have it streamed before Netflix did? Did you know that? See, Blockbuster didn't do that. Now, there's many different possible reasons, and I'm not here to try to act like I know more than Blockbuster or whatnot, but obviously it didn't work out for them, right? Some people have said that Wayne Huizenga, who was the president, CEO of Blockbuster, was getting ready to sell the company and didn't want to change, even though he knew he should have changed, but really didn't want to mess up the sale. It's this, that, da, da, da. But nevertheless, Blockbuster did not get on the bridge of transition. Blockbuster didn't get on the transitional bridge. And so Blockbuster ended up basically going out of business, right? We don't see Blockbuster videos too much. I think there might be like 2 left in America or something like that. But it was one of the saddest stories of not being willing to go on the transitional bridge. And so that's my question to you right now. I mean, you guys are seeing it, right? I mean, healthcare businesses, they're falling apart. It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher for people, okay? It's getting tougher and tougher for the majority of your clients to be able to get served and get helped by you. Because the majority of your clients, for the most part, most of you, I'd say maybe I'll get a listener who'll say, it was not me, I have all these rich people. Okay, well, that's great for you. But the majority of you, most of your clients are middle class. And middle class people are being squeezed left and right. Left and right. You know, right now we have even a good chunk of our population is the older population, and they are, you know, getting ready to retire, or they have retired. And they have, within the last week and a half, have probably lost about 25% of their savings through 401ks, right? Through stocks, through ETFs. It's been a disaster. Okay. And so my point in all of this is that the middle class is being eliminated. And yes, there's going to be a certain group in the middle class that move up to, you know, the high profit, low volume, wealthy people. And then you're going to have a good chunk of the middle class that are going to need much cheaper services. The question is that have you transitioned? Are you just a one-trick pony and you have your one service and it's $250 of your cash pay, or $225 or $300, and that's all you have? So now you're just going to ignore that those people that could afford that before, now they're not going to be able to afford it, but you're not going to try to create a new solution for them? Guys, see, I think that's someone that's saying, I'm not willing to go on the transitional bridge. And it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and I think you're playing with fire. That's it. And I tell you this, you know, for me, on a personal level, there are 2 companies. If you want to hear the companies, you can go into my private Facebook group. I won't say the names right now, but there are 2 companies that I have been a huge part of that I have requested, even though I'm an owner of those companies, I requested that they go on a transitional bridge, and they have refused to do so. And so I have stepped away from those companies. I don't have as big of an influence over those companies because I believe they refuse to go over the transitional bridge. And I see it. I see them struggling more and more and more. Conversely, I have other companies that we are on the transitional bridge, and it's scary, but we are doing quite well, like really well. And I think it's because we're just reading the market and we're seeing that, wait, this is what people are needing right now. And so I just want you guys to know that being on a transitional bridge, I get it. It is scary. But right now, if you're not, you're crazy. And you're probably like, well, how do I know if I'm on it? Well, let me tell you this. What I can tell you is that right now, if you're not using artificial intelligence every single day in your business, you're not on a transitional bridge. If your team members aren't using artificial intelligence every single day in your business, you are not on a transitional bridge. If you aren't creating additional offers that can attract people at a lower level, okay, meaning that they don't have to pay as much as they usually pay you to be able to get some level of transformation from you, you are not on a transitional bridge. If all you have done is low-level offers and you never create anything for high-ticket offers, high profit, low volume, and you've never even considered that, you are not on a transitional bridge. That's how you know if you're on a transitional bridge. It is imperative now to get on the transitional bridge. Now, I do think that most healthcare providers, I think that you are usually the last to be affected, okay? But I still don't think that allows you to not have to get on the bridge. I think it's going to get ugly. And I think that it's in your best interest to get on the bridge. So anyways, I hope this helps you. I hope this serves you. And I hope this makes you ask yourself some really tough questions. Are you on the bridge or are you not on the bridge? If you aren't, get on the bridge as soon as possible. If you are on the bridge, hang tight and just know that there's many of us that are on the bridge with you as well. All right. And reach out if you just need some encouragement. Listen to this podcast if you need a little inspiration. And hopefully it will make the bridge feel a little less rickety. I hope that helps you guys. Until next time.